The executive officer was enjoying his hot cup of coffee, an odd drink, an odd bitter drink that he had learned to enjoy on these very long shifts. He sipped it slowly as he was told to, savoring every little bit of its strong taste before the caffeine reached his system and made sure he wouldn't sleep for the next 12 hours. He would have enjoyed it far less if he knew what he was about to deal with. His comms officer, hearing an alarm, checked to see who had just warped in towards the station. Sir? Sir? Yes, comms, what is it? Sir, we're receiving clearance. A request for clearance has come in, but I'm not sure what ship this is, sir. With that, the executive officer slowly put his coffee cup down and looked over at his console. If he had been holding the coffee cup at that time, he would have immediately dropped it. Oh, no. What is it, sir? The comms officer asked. Contact the entire station. I need to send out an alert to everyone. Sir, what's wrong? Who is this? It's the humans. Oh, shoot. It's the humans say, oh shit, but yeah, it's close enough. Get me on the line with everybody. I need to make sure security is ready. Every single one of the pleasure districts is ready, and security needs to know every single thing that's going on, along with down in the galleyway and the... Oh, dear Lord, this is going to be bad. This is so bad. Gonna be bad. Also, tell the captain. Tell him he's going to be awake for this, unfortunately, and he's not going to enjoy it. Yes, sir. Already on the way. With that, several other comms officers began to tap onto their screens and start to alert different areas. The voices rang out as they began to tell them what was happening. Humans were coming. Humans are on their way. Less than 1 hour out. They have cleared for docking and will be landing in Docking Bay 2. If they cannot circle around to 2, they will be docking at 7. Be prepared. I say again, be prepared for humans. It wasn't long before the captain barged in. Why did you wake me up? Sir, we have an issue, a very large issue that needs your attention. This better be important. Oh, I was in the middle of a dream and me and my mate were about to... Sir, I don't need to know the specifics, but you need to know... You don't cut me off, XO. Now, what is it? As he reached up, petting his antennae back and trying to wipe the sleep away as he began to realize what was going on. Sir, there's humans coming. Why didn't you get me sooner? Immediately the captain ran over to his console and checked to see how close they were. Have you contacted the... Yes, we have, sir. Everybody has been... Good. Double check everything. Make sure everything is good. Everything is locked down. We need to make sure when they get here, there's the least amount of damage. You all know your stations, he yelled out to everyone. Everyone, make sure you keep an eye on every single human all the time. I don't care what they're doing. I don't care if they're relieving themselves. You make sure you have them under surveillance. Is that understood? Yes, sir, was actually yelled out amongst the comms. And as the humans slowly made their way forward, firing their retro boosters every once in a while to make sure they were exactly on track, even though retro boosters were usually not used, this was simply used as a signal to show that they were actually slowing down and they were non-hostile. They had no interest in boarding. They had already sent their manifest, which made the captain breathe a small sigh of relief, as they were only going to come in for a few pieces of materials and not much else. Sir, may I ask a question? What is it? Sir, I've never dealt with humans. Why do we have to go? I mean, I've heard rumors, but, the rumors can't be true, could they? He caught himself as many different sets of eyes immediately turned towards him. The captain simply stuck his head inside his 4 hands and simply rubbed the sides of his head, not wanting to talk. The executive officer, who was able to keep himself straight as he reached over for his cup of coffee, and he seemed to lift it shaking a little bit as he took a small sip. Well, you see all those rumors? if anything, they're downplayed. And before you ask any questions, I will fully explain. You see, humans are unpredictable, extremely unpredictable. They don't have any type of hive mind at all. They have a pack mentality, and that is very rare. But what makes them most dangerous is they're death worlders, which means a lot of things we throw at them, if they get out of hand, will simply be shrugged off. They won't even give us a chance to do anything. We will simply be at their mercy. But, sir, they can't be. We have weapons here, of course. Of course we do. But you need to understand that death worlds are much larger. And the fact of the matter is, they have to deal with many of the issues that we don't. In fact, their bodies are completely resistant to the UV lasers that we usually use to stun people with. This made most of the crew very nervous, remembering that hitting a human with UV lasers at most would tickle, and nobody wanted to hear a human laugh. Usually a human laugh was preceded by a human doing something very, very stupid. But sir, why... I don't understand. Why would they do this? I know they're death worlders, but I mean... Well, let me inform you exactly what is going on. When humans get here, they're usually in transit for about 3 or 4 of their months, about maybe a quarter of the solar cycles on their planet, which makes them a little pent up, which means when they land, they either have been working on their ship for that amount of time, or they have been in sleep, a long sleep. Their body does not fully shut down. They call it cryonics, even though it's not really cryo. It's stasis. It's just a strange name that humans do, just one of the many strange things they do. But their body doesn't slow down. In fact, they can't shut it down entirely, or else atrophy will make it impossible for them to do their jobs when they come out. And because of that, they are more than a little interested in stretching out and doing odd things. In fact, as the only human friend I have ever known, his name was Tom, very polite for a human. He simply said, if I can remember this correctly, when humans dock, the sailors are only interested in 3 things: food, a fight, or a mating. I was surprised at this. I thought the other one would end up sounding similar, but I guess the translator either didn't do it right, or humans just have another strange eccentricity. How far are they out? About 20 minutes, sir. Then I got 20 minutes to let you know that when the humans get here, the first thing they're going to want to do is they're going to go straight to the galley. They're going to go straight to the food court, and they're going to fill their stomachs with all sorts of items. So many items, in fact, that you are going to be amazed that so much mass can fit in their bodies. They will pay for it all, but they will be quite messy as they shove all of this into their maw, and you will not believe how fast they will put it down. You wonder if they even have a chance to taste it, and yet, when you have human cuisine, it is unbelievably delicious. We've been told that the rations they get when they're traveling are not very palatable, so they do tend to eat a lot. However, once their bellies are full, they get very lethargic. But once this lethargy wears off, then there's an issue, because they have a lot of energy. And after that energy, they tend to go and look to show their dominance among others. Many times they will be in physical confrontations with each other, as they will immediately get, as I was told, on each other's nerve endings. I don't know how that's possible, but apparently they have some sort of nerve connection between each other that is not pleasant. Eventually, they will end up starting to strike each other, throwing each other around, and yet sometimes they will do this strictly for fun, as you will see them laughing and smiling while this is going on. But they will always, always break something, and unfortunately, many other species are not as durable as humans are. And when they do this, If any other species gets in, it is immediately a confrontation. A confrontation that usually ends in someone ending straight into the medical bay and straight into the ICU. If they're very unlucky, they're straight to the morgue. However, if this does happen, you can be assured that the human captain will immediately recall every single one of their people. But there is a reason why we don't want them to leave. The humans at that point will not only pay for their food, they will pay for everything broken, and they will tip very, very well. In fact, it is well noted that you will get 3 or 4 times as much from the humans as you will from any other species. They're so rare that they're very generous. We don't know if this is why, any reason other than they don't understand the value that they give up. But then others are more interested in going straight to as many of the brothels as possible. And I mean all of them. So you can't possibly mean that they would, again, all the eyes and heads turn towards the comms officer. Oh, really? Yes, they will. They will do any type of mating. It is disturbing that they will mate across species lines. I was told once by my friend Tom this was a rule they have. They must do this. I didn't understand their rule 34. A strange one, a very strange rule. However, once they have done all 3 of these things, at least attempted to, they will immediately calm down, and the only thing they will want is to be cleaned up. Once you do this, their bellies are full. They have shown their dominance, and they have mated with several different species of females. Or, if it's a human female, multiple males at once, as they are known to do this. Then all they want is to wash off the grime from the food, wash off the blood from those they have beaten or their own blood, and wash off the fluids of those they have mated with, and then they will simply be docile. At least for about 24 hours, and then they will do it again. How long are they planning on stay here, comms officer? Oh, 1 moment, sir. I didn't actually check. They're 2 weeks. Oh, shit.